look at example 5 in your section 3.3 notes. In example 5, we're going to use the half angle identity for sine, which I have written down here, to try to figure out what the value of the sine of 105 degrees. So first up, if we recognize 105 degrees is our alpha divided by 2. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to pick whether that answer is going to be a positive or a negative. And we know that 105 degrees is in quadrant 2, and the sign is positive there, so we'll be picking the positive. Okay. All right, next up, we want to recognize, well, if this is alpha over 2, then, what is alpha? So if you double this angle, okay, you'll get alpha. So if I take 105 and I double it, I get the cosine of 210 degrees, okay? Now that's pretty easy to check, right? So comparing, right? So whatever your angle is right here, it should be the half. So 210, if I half it or divide by 2, I get 105, okay? All right, so that's the plug-in. So now we need to find the cosine of 210 degrees. So 210 degrees shoots us down to quadrant 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw that picture. Okay, so 210 degrees right there, down in quadrant 3. Our reference angle is going to be 30 degrees. Okay, across from 30 is going to be -1 since the triangle is going down. Next to 30, we'll have a negative root 3. Again, we're on the negative side of the x-axis, and the hypotenuse is always 2. Okay, so we should be able to find cosine pretty easily here from the adjacent and the hypotenuse. We're going to go ahead and plug that in to our square root. So I have 1, and then I'm going to have a minus, and I have negative root 3 over 2 for the cosine of 210. Okay, all right, so now we just need to get rid of the extra fraction bar. We can't have fractions within fractions. We just want this main one in the middle to stay. So the easiest way to do that is to multiply by this denominator. So you gotta multiply by 2. Okay, you make sure you do it in both the top and the bottom of the fraction so you're not changing it. Okay, so when I multiply it through the top, I'm gonna get 1 times 2. Okay, negative negative becomes a positive, and then these 2's cancel, which was kind of the point. So we're gonna have a root 3 there. And then my denominator, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. All right, so we're almost done. There's one little thing that we can do. We can take the square root of 4. Okay, so the denominator is not going to have any kind of root. We'll just have a positive 2 down there. And the numerator, we're going to have this embedded square root. So we have the square root of 2 and then plus the square root of 3 in there. Okay, and that's as simple as we can get.